Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. Hope and Steffy come together, Bill's reckoning, and Finn's moral conundrum. Here are the spoilers for the week of May 5, 2025, on The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that Liam Spencer and Bill Spencer will face off. I hope Logan learns the truth about Liam's condition at last. The Bold and the Beautiful, do you want more? Receive the most recent information on The Bold and the Beautiful delivered directly to your inbox. Luna Nozawa, in the meantime, begs John Finn Finnegan. Let's discuss what will happen in the CBS soap opera next week as you continue reading. The appeal of Luna Nozawa. First up is Luna, who desires a relationship with her father. Steffy Forrester Finnegan will not permit a relationship to develop, even though Finn is Luna's biological father. Steffy has good cause to do so. However, it will be difficult for Finn to continue rejecting Luna, particularly if she is in a terrible situation. Luna assures Finn that he's a wonderful man who would never abandon his child in the weekly preview segment. Naturally, Finn will find it difficult to turn her down after hearing such remarks. I hope Logan comes together. Hope is still unaware that Liam has a brain tumor that cannot be removed. Liam felt pressured by Steffy to be honest with Hope. Although Liam gave some clues, he ultimately failed to complete the task. She tells Steffy about it and then assumes command. Steffy says it's about Liam and requests a meeting with Hope. In a sneak peek, Steffy conveys the news of Liam's incurable brain tumor to Hope while crying. Liam wanted his secret to remain hidden from Steffy and Finn. Steffy is aware of what it's like to be misinformed about a loved one's fatal diagnosis, though. Steffy and Eric Forrester went through that. Furthermore, this secret is unfair to Beth Spencer because Liam and Hope have a child together. Like Kelly Spencer, she deserves to spend as much time as possible with her father. Bill Spencer's encounter. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill is unaware that his son was hospitalized, much less that he underwent emergency brain surgery. Despite seeing blood on the carpet, Bill chose not to investigate the incident. Unexpectedly, Bill was not even informed by security that the ambulance was on the property. Bill and Liam eventually turn to face one another as they proceed. Bill is going to feel bad about Liam's fatal diagnosis. But it's also hinted at that they have a confronting that alters everything. With a strong emphasis on Bill Spencer and his son Liam Spencer, The Bold and the Beautiful promises dramatic drama, heartfelt conflicts, and long-awaited reckonings. The forthcoming episodes might include their most intense confrontation to date, despite the fact that this father-son team has endured innumerable storms, betrayals, manipulations, and shifting alliances. Watchers can anticipate a roller coaster of intense confrontations, heartbreaking confessions, and game-changing turns that will permanently change the Spencer family as secrets are revealed and allegiances are put to the test. The war between Bill and Liam was the tipping point. This week, the simmering tension between Liam and Bill erupts. It has been there for months. Still in shock over Bill's unrelenting hunt for Steffy and his devious methods of controlling the Logan sisters, Liam eventually reaches his breaking point. Liam confronts Bill in a full-on altercation at Spencer Publications because he can no longer watch as his father destroys their family. The scenario is intense, Bill's characteristic haughtiness clashes with Liam's suppressed anger, and the verbal sparring swiftly turns into a physical brawl. This is a confrontation that has been building for years, not just a verbal duel. The intense passion that underlies this clash is what makes it so compelling. After years of alternating between admiration and hate for his father, Liam finally lets go the full force of his disappointment. He lashes out at Bill for every transgression, including the notorious steam affair and Bill's constant plot against Hope, Annika Noel. Bill, on the other hand, is adamant that everything he has done has been for the Spencer legacy and will not back down, justifying his actions with his trademark brutal logic. However, Bill's armor starts to show signs of cracking for the first time. Underneath his resistance, is there a glimmer of regret? Or will their differences merely get worse as a result of this confrontation? The repercussions, a split family. The Spencer family is rocked by the fallout from Bill and Liam's argument. Caught in the middle, Wyatt, Darren Brooks, tries to mediate between his father and brother, but even his ability to make peace might not be sufficient this time. Katie, Heather Tom, meantime, is once more forced to face her complex past with Bill. Katie, who has supported Liam during his conflicts with his father, gives Bill a scathing monologue in which she reminds him that his actions have repercussions that could cost him not only his boys but his entire family. Steffy becomes involved in the situation as well. Bill's fascination with her still poses a threat even though she has moved on with Finn. She cautions Liam not to let Bill's poisonous behavior to devour him after hearing about the most recent Spencer family collapse, but will Liam heed her advice? Or will he go too far because of his grudge against his father? Unexpected partnerships and emerging dangers. Unexpected alliances start to emerge as the Spencer conflict continues. Never one to pass up a chance to poke fun at Bill, Ridge, Torsten K. quietly stokes Liam's ire by recognizing an opportunity to undermine his long-standing foe. However, Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, who is all too aware of how family conflicts can get out of hand, advises moderation. Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, who is constantly hiding in the shadows, observes the mayhem with great curiosity. Could she use this breakup in the family to further her own perverse goals? Another level of mystery is added by Poppy, Romy Park, who enters Bill's life out of the blue. Does she have a secret connection to the Spencer turmoil, or is she just a distraction? The week is full of unexpected turns that could completely alter the course of events, especially with Deacon, Sean Cannon, involved. Why you can't miss this week. With their intense emotion, lingering resentments, and stunning confrontations, this week's episodes are a master class in soap opera narrative. The reckoning between Bill and Liam is not merely another argument, rather, it is a turning point that may permanently alter their relationship. Will the Spencer family as we know it come to an end? Or might at last there be hope for redemption because of this harsh honesty? May 5th to 9th is a must-watch period for any fan of Bold and the Beautiful because of the outstanding performances by Don Diamond and Scott Clifton, the breathtaking photography, and the gripping script. Watch to find out if the Spencer name will be ripped apart or if blood really is thicker than water. Final verdict: get ready for a week filled with intense drama, broken relationships, and the long-awaited Spencer showdown. Unmissable, unforgettable, and completely explosive, this is Bold and the Beautiful at its finest. Carter's promise of hope and Steffy's emotional appeal to Liam. According to Monday, May 5th spoilers on the Bold and the Beautiful, Carter Walton promises Hope Logan something, and Steffy Forrester will make an impassioned plea to Liam Spencer. Carter has been putting a lot of effort into persuading Hope that they belong together at Brooke Logan's house. Liam's recent motivational speech has already pushed Hope back toward Carter, although Carter has started making more pitches. Does Hope's increased willingness to listen and let go of her wrath suggest that she's also ready to start over? If Hope would just give him the yes he's been waiting for, Carter and Hope could start a new chapter in their relationship. Of course, there's a chance Hope will put off making her choice a bit longer. Even if Hope doesn't formally get back together with Carter just yet, she may indicate that she is willing to try to mend their relationship. According to B&B spoilers for May, Carter will strive hard to win Hope over. Carter might assure Hope that he will stop at nothing to establish his worth and strengthen their bond. Steffy will make a heartfelt plea to Liam at the Cliff House. Steffy will attempt to get Liam to reconsider his pledge to keep his secret from Hope. When it comes to his inoperable brain tumor, Liam had excellent cause to tell Hope about it. Steffy will remind Liam of Hope's affection for him and believe that Hope should be aware of his illness for Beth Spencer's, Jordan Grace, benefit as well. But Liam might confess to Steffy that he simply cannot bring himself to tell Hope or anybody else that he is dying at this moment. Will Steffy feel it's better if she blabs, or will Liam urge Steffy to inform Hope on his behalf? In any case, during the week of May 5th to 9th, Steffy will go to Brooke's house and be ready to update Hope on Liam's dire prognosis. Steffy wishes she could foretell Liam's future more optimistically, but all she can do is deliver heartbreaking news to Hope. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy and Hope will discover some common ground in the upcoming episodes, so watch the CBS serial opera. Fans will be rewatching The Bold and the Beautiful for months because it offers a powerful, unforgettable dose of emotional destruction, surprising unification, and heart-opening revelations. As lifelong rivals Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan, bound by love, grief, and Liam Spencer, suddenly find themselves on the same emotional plane, the tension that has been building for weeks explodes into must-watch television. It's not what anyone anticipated. The Forrester and Logan families are devastated by Liam's illness at the beginning of the week. This plotline has transformed rumors into a grim reality. Liam's greatest fears have come true after weeks of confusion, dizziness, and impaired vision. He has been diagnosed with a rare, fast-acting neurological condition. While Liam attempts to remain calm, the walls are collapsing around him and the ladies who have loved him the most. What began as murmurs of exhaustion has now turned into a thunderclap of sorrow. Even though Steffy is usually the strongest person, she is emotionally vulnerable. Her self-assured exterior breaks down as she confides in Ridge about the difficult decision she might have to make, how to support Liam in fighting illness when there might not even be a cure. The atmosphere in the Forrester mansion becomes tense, but nothing can prepare fans for when Steffy arrives at Hope's house, not with accusations or pretense, but with unadulterated vulnerability and honesty. Steffy lays out the truth about Liam's sickness, her own anxieties, and the horrifying thought that they might be losing him in a sequence that will undoubtedly go down in Bold and the Beautiful history. Stunned and broken, Hope collapses. For the first time, the two women put aside their decades-long competition and embrace one another as fellow grieving, loving, and heartbroken women rather than as enemies. The situation is incredibly human, vulnerable, and unflinching. As their daughters get closer to an unknown alliance, Brooke and Taylor, who are no strangers to love triangles themselves, worry. It's evident that the true narrative is playing out in the hearts of the ladies who are enmeshed in Liam's orbit, even as the fashion world around them continues to swirl, with rumors of a new showstopper design and Ridge stuck between personal turmoil and professional demands. Hope is still emotionally attached to the guy who had promised her forever. Even now she finds herself depending on Carter for quiet support during her own grieving process. An already tense scenario is made more complex by her divided heart. Is she trying to change the future while it's still possible, or is she holding on to a past that no longer exists? The tone changes from revelation to introspection during the middle of the week. Like an eerie overture, flashbacks of better times, Liam and Hope's wedding, Steffy holding baby Kelly while Liam stands at her side, and moments of promise and laughter, play. Liam begs the two women not to split up since he can feel their emotions growing. Instead of war, he seeks forgiveness, understanding, and peace. In a heartwarming rooftop scene, Liam tells Steffy and Hope that they are the pillars of his life and that he hopes they will support one another rather than bring each other down no matter what happens. Longtime viewers who have seen these characters struggle through years of love, betrayal, and loss will find it to be a poignant full-circle moment, as well as a vulnerable moment that fans never anticipated. The episode then dumps another emotional bombshell just when a precarious new normal appears to be within grasp. As Finn struggles with his own guilt and medical helplessness, he gets an anonymous tip about a revolutionary clinic abroad that may give Liam a shot at recovery thanks to its innovative treatment program. However, it would require an instant departure from Los Angeles. Time is running out, so Liam and the women who are now supporting him must make a decision. As Ridge, Brooke, and even Bill Spencer contribute their own goals and viewpoints, the friction becomes intolerable. However, Hope and Steffy manage to get through the cacophony once more. They all pledge to back Liam in any way he decides, which upends the long-standing dynamics of the program. The week's last scenes are the most heartbreaking to date. Liam sits with Steffy and Hope on either side of him, surrounded by pictures of Kelly and Beth as well as memories of everything he has created and destroyed. He is now the man who united two ladies in their mutual strength rather than the man torn between them. Fans gasp in anticipation of what will happen next week when the screen goes blank and his eyes sparkle with tears. Is Liam going to fight for his life abroad? Will Steffy and Hope be able to keep this tenuous peace? And how will the other members of the Logan and Forrester families adjust to a world that has changed so drastically in a matter of days? There is little doubt that this week's episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful were among its most emotionally stirring and ambitious in terms of plot. This chapter of the story may permanently alter relationships since the stakes are higher than ever and it's becoming harder to distinguish between loyalty and love. The message is also extremely apparent for fans who are paying close attention. Don't blink or you might miss something that could change everything. With a profoundly poignant and intense storyline, The Bold and the Beautiful shifts into emotional high gear as the storm clouds of truth loom over the lives of Liam Spencer's closest friends and family. Steffy Forrester becomes more and more desperate to persuade Liam to do what he has feared most, tell Hope Logan the heartbreaking truth about his failing health. Liam has been living like a ghost for weeks now, plagued by the diagnosis he can't escape and the suffering he tries to conceal beneath weary eyes and hollow grins. Time may not be on his side, and the bold facade he puts on every day is crumbling under the weight of reality. He is ill. He tries to be a stable presence for the women he has loved and to keep things running smoothly for Beth and Kelly, but it is becoming painfully obvious to those closest to him that something is very wrong, and Steffy is the only one who can see it. Steffy confronts Liam in a sequence that is as unvarnished as it is long overdue when she witnesses him nodding off during an emotional talk with Kelly, followed by a fainting spell that gave her a terrifying shock. "Stop pretending, stop lying to everyone, especially Hope," she pleads him, and her voice trembles, not with rage but with heartbreak. Steffy, who has loved Liam through all of his incarnations, his self-assured peaks and valleys, and now this scared shell of himself, knows that he is on a downward spiral and she cannot continue to watch in silence. The chat turns into a lovely paradox as the tears in her eyes reflect the helplessness in his, both filled with unsaid suffering and brimming with the kind of love that endures even after romantic relationships have long since fallen apart. She begs him to go to Hope, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also because she understands that if Liam keeps bearing this alone, he may never have the opportunity to say goodbye in a meaningful way or muster the strength to fight. However, Liam is paralyzed by terror. He struggles with the harsh injustice of it all in the seclusion of his room, surrounded by MRI scans and medicine bottles he keeps hidden out of sight. How does he tell Hope that their family's dreams might be vanishing while maintaining eye contact? One day, how does he explain to Beth why Daddy isn't around as often as he once was? His love for Hope is entwined with fear and shame. He still recalls her complete collapse under the grief following the Beth/Phoebe baby swap, and he believes this may permanently shatter her. He stalls as a result. He diverts attention. He lies because he loves her too much to see her world collapse once more, not because he doesn't trust her. In addition to that, he harbors a deep-seated denial. The physicians might be mistaken. Perhaps he'll feel better when he wakes up tomorrow. Perhaps it won't be genuine if he doesn't say it out loud. Hope, meanwhile, feels something. Her Liam, the man in front of her, seemed to be floaty. The way they both laugh doesn't feel the same. He seems to be remembering her feelings as his embrace lingers. Liam deflects with experienced ease when she tries to discuss what's bothering him, first softly. He discusses everything but the truth, including work, Kelly's drawings, and Beth's preschool exploits. Hope's instincts are more acute than ever, and she becomes increasingly uneasy every day. She confides in Brooke, who speculates that Liam might be emotionally withdrawing due to unresolved feelings for Steffy, but Hope has a gut feeling that there is more going on here. It's fear. This man is getting ready for something that he is too scared to mention. When Steffy returns to the Cliff home, she tells Finn how frustrated she is and he tells her not to push Liam too hard, but Steffy can't keep quiet. She is aware that Liam and Hope both deserve the truth. In one particularly moving scene, Steffy brings Kelly's most recent school assignment to Liam and sits quietly next to him. "You don't have to be strong for me, Hope, or anybody else," she then states plainly. "You must be honest, though. In any case, she will discover the truth." Long after she departs, Liam keeps hearing the phrase, "Don't let it be from someone else." The pivotal moment occurs when Liam picks up a picture of himself, Hope, and Beth at the cabin, a joyful moment captured in a photograph. He holds on to it tightly. Finally, with shaking hands, he writes a letter in case he is unable to find the words in person. He doesn't want to be the guy who walks away without saying what needs to be said. He's about to put it away, though, when Hope enters and sees the medical file on his desk. Everything comes to a halt. A scene of heartbreaking vulnerability ensues. "What is this, Liam?" says Hope, her voice breaking. He haltingly tries to explain that he is ill and that it may be worse than anyone had thought, but there is no elegant way to put it. Hope's response is multi-layered, ranging from incredulity to horror to intense love. Refusing to let him fall asleep, she takes hold of his hands. "What kept you from telling me? Why would you bear this by yourself?" With tears in her eyes, she asks. Exhausted and devastated, Liam utters the simple words, "Because I didn't want to watch it break you." Nevertheless, Hope remains unbroken in that instant. She gets up. As the sun sets on a day of emotional reckoning, Steffy watches from a distance, appreciative but not envious or resentful, as she holds him and assures him that they will face it together. "I'm glad Liam finally decided to face his fears and embrace the truth. I'm glad Hope didn't run. I'm thankful that, for once, love meant coming together rather than picking sides." As anticipated by the bold and the beautiful, longtime rivals Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan must put aside years of animosity, rivalry, and complicated past in order to save one man, Liam Spencer. Following Liam's devastating medical prognosis, the walls surrounding him gradually close in, and what starts off as shared worry gradually turns into something even more unexpected: unity. After years of love, having kids, and countless arguments over the same man, these two women now view one another with a newfound sense of empathy. Their history still permeates every awkward pause and glance they exchange, but it no longer defines them. Not when Liam's life could be at stake. After Steffy sobs and confides in Hope about Liam's illness, the revelation strikes both ladies like a tidal wave. She hadn't intended to, she had assured Liam that she would not speak, but when Hope approached her, her eyes wide with terror and her voice shaking, she said, "I know something's wrong with him, Steffy. I sense it," revealed the truth. Hope was initially heartbroken, not only by the diagnosis but also by the notion that Liam believed he had to endure his pain in solitude and that he was unable to reach her. She soon discovered, however, how much Steffy had also carried, trying to be resilient for Finn, Kelly, and everyone else. In an intense scene, Hope and Steffy sit in the living room of the Cliff home, surrounded by the toys and laughter of their kids, Kelly and Beth, who are the next generation. They talk about the man they each love in distinct but inexplicable ways. They speak as mothers, as women who genuinely care for someone who is slipping through their fingers, rather than as adversaries or even rivals. The barriers separating them start to fall apart. Hope acknowledges that she believed she had an eternity to mend Liam's relationship and restore what their recent hardships had destroyed. Steffy admits that she worries that Kelly won't have her father when she grows up. And gradually, this sorrow, this mutual sense of loss, unites them in a manner that no romantic conflict could. They begin to battle for Liam rather than for him. Together. Their unity turns into an unexpected force. The degree to which Hope and Steffy start to coordinate surprises Ridge, Brooke, and even Finn. They cover everything, including wellness techniques, second opinions, appointments, and even emotional support. Hope takes up the role of Liam's defender in the cabin, offering him consolation, warmth, and constant support. Steffy makes sure he never feels alone by checking in every day. And Hope and Steffy, standing side by side, address Liam in a loving yet strong manner when he starts to reject treatment choices or drive others away out of fear. With her eyes burning with the fire of a woman who is tired of being passive, Steffy informs him, "You don't get to give up." Hope, whose voice is typically gentler, continues, "We're not letting you disappear, Liam," adding, "Not when you have two little girls who need their dad. Not when the battle is still going on." Their efforts are not in vain. As they observe from the sidelines, the Forrester family begins to realize the gravity of the issue and the strength of this surprising partnership. Brooke, who has always been suspicious of Steffy, starts to warm up. She sees how Steffy has stepped up as a ferocious defender and co-parent, not just as a mother or an ex. Taylor, who is proud of her daughter's fortitude, advises her to embrace her relationship with Hope, realizing that the days of tearing each other apart must come to an end. Taylor states, "Liam needs peace. And it's a gift if you two can give him that together." Additionally, it is a gift that starts to transform Liam as well. The two most significant women in his life are now working together to stabilize him where he was previously adrift in remorse and doubt. He begins to release the weight he had attempted to carry alone and opens up more. He tells Steffy and Hope in a very moving passage, "I've spent so much time, dividing my heart, and now, I just feel held." The reality of his words sets in, and both ladies realize they are not doing this for Liam, but rather because they love him in ways that go beyond romantic labels. For example, "Maybe I can fight this because you're both holding me up." The bond between Hope and Steffy even starts to affect how other people in the neighborhood treat Liam. Carter provides silent support, regretting the way he and Hope ended their relationship. With his medical knowledge, Finn intervenes and even starts putting Liam in touch with potential experimental treatments. It becomes evident that this is a time of healing for all those concerned, not just a medical emergency. An uncommon opportunity to mend relationships that have been shattered for a long time by miscommunication and jealousy. Don't be misled, though, the journey is not simple. There are stressful times, particularly when choices need to be taken and viewpoints diverge. Hope wants to keep things quiet and shield the children from danger. Steffy supports complete openness, particularly for Kelly's benefit. Despite their arguments and tears, they always return to the same conclusion: Liam is more important than pride or painful memories. And they keep going forward with that as their guide. Their united front serves as a metaphor for change and what happens when love transcends ego. Steffy and Hope will never be the same in the end, regardless of whether Liam lives or dies, whether their destinies split apart or reunite. Because in the heat of disaster, they discovered in one another not just strength but also the kind of grace and empathy that even years of rivalry couldn't sabotage.